Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Back in October, I picked up Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch, and I took a Death Stranding break, and I took a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order break. Death Stranding is my game of the year. But after taking a break, I decided to get back to the Luigi's Mansion. I really enjoy the art style and the use of color in the game. I find the controls a little wonky, honestly, but I think it's still a fun game and I'm enjoying playing it. I'm about halfway done, but because I do enjoy the artwork so much, I thought I would try to attempt to draw a Luigi. What I will generally do is just kind of do a freeform sketch on the couch and then trace it onto marker paper. So I looked around on the internet and I found a couple images, and one that I actually liked was from the Nintendo collectible that they released last month in conjunction with the game, and it's a light up figure that comes along also with Polterpup. And this is the sketch rendition that I did, and then I photocopied a couple different times just to make sure that I had the quality that I needed in order to do my final inking, and also in case there were any screw ups, I had a backup copy. This is just a technique that I've learned over the years. If you have access to a photocopying machine, something that can give you a high output image, do it. Otherwise, it's okay just to sketch on this. So without further ado, let's just get to the drawing. Oh hey, check it, snazzy voiceover time. So I just finished tracing the drawing and now I'm on to inking. I'm also overcoming awful bronchitis, so please excuse my congestion. And 1 minute into coloring, we already have a problem. These markers are too strong for the paper. Instead of absorbing into the paper, this Winsor Newton marker ink is just sort of beating on the surface. I'm getting a little nervous. It's not going well. I might have to abandon this drawing. So it's definitely my mistake to not try these markers on this particular paper before. So what I decided to do is actually use a more trusted marker set, and these are my 80 count touch new, really inexpensive markers that I got on Amazon. So I'm using these now to sort of smooth out the colors that the brush markers are giving me. I'm using my trusty Prismacolor pencils here. I've got a white one and I've got a black one. I'm trying to alternate texture, lights, dark, shadow effects. The goal is to give it some texture, some light, some character to pop up off the page a little bit. The game designers actually use a texture effect pretty widely through the game. They'll even focus in on Luigi's hat, and you can see different textures, you can see different lighting effects. It's what really impressed me the most about the game, especially since the Switch doesn't have a powerful graphic processor. Okay, hold up a second. Cut. Time out. It's fine, right? This is where I was going to actually end the video. But it's boring. I could do so much better. It's fine as a drawing. I want to do something different. And because I can't leave well enough alone, I'm gonna sleep on it. Take some cold medicine. Make breakfast. Hydrate. Let's attack this thing with some new energy. We're gonna take this Let's Draw video and turn it into a Let's Make video. My plan now is to make a 3D Shadowbox. I'm going to use some double-sided sticky tape and one of these photocopied Luigis and center my background. Now, I drew a couple random ghosts, Polterpup, and I plan to use this vellum paper, which is see-through, with a watercolor effect over top, so it looks like transparency. Now, I've never done this before, but I'm assuming since the watercolor is relatively transparent, it'll give me the desired effect of looking like ghosts in the background of Luigi and Polterpup in the foreground. Now I'm switching to gouache for the background and Luigi's shadow. And gouache is basically a more opaque watercolor, which you can also use water to thin out. Now let's use some crafting foam to prop up Luigi and add some layers and move him towards the foreground. I want Luigi to be in the middle ground, slightly above his shadow. We'll do the same for the ghosts, except now I'm using white foam instead of black, and I'm also layering the ghosts in different positions. I played around with different positions here as Luigi's weapon is pointing behind him toward the wall. So I placed the blue ghost in line with Luigi's head in front of the light source. The red ghost behind Luigi's head coming from behind him, and Polterpup playfully jumping around at his feet. I purchased this 3D Shadowbox frame from a local craft store, and I'm just going to modify it slightly before I put this piece together. back. It was just a few short minutes for you was about 2.5 weeks of my time. This took way longer than intended. As I mentioned in the video, the one thing that really sort of set me back from the very start was that the markers that I used, which were the Winsor & Newton brush markers, they output too much ink and the paper just was rejecting it. It wasn't absorbing. It was just sort of sitting on the surface and I was smearing it around. It was kind of a disaster. I thought I was going to have to scrap this whole project. One of the things I discovered is that the drawing itself was coming out very flat. I didn't really like how it looked. It just was hard to separate the foreground from the background if there was going to be a background. Originally, I just was going to do a quick marker sketch and it just didn't work out very well at all. And then I just went super crazy over the top and I ended up with this piece of artwork that I wasn't really anticipating from the very beginning, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Thanks for watching.